I mean, we're predicting price increases for the next 16 to 20 months at least. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Break It Down with Braydon. Super excited. I've got Becky Kitson on today. Becky, thanks for joining me.
No worries. I'm pleased to be here. Thanks.
Becky, tell everybody a little bit about your real estate career, who you're with, how long you've been doing it.
Okay. So I'm with Keller Williams Realty in one of our Scottsdale offices. I've been selling real estate since 2009, so I'm in year 13.
Very nice.
Yeah.
How you liking it?
Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. It's just getting people into houses and helping them, meet their financial goals.
Yep.
It's just really rewarding.
Market in 2009 versus market in 2022.
Well, I'll tell you, it's night and day. And, a lot of realtors that I meet never experienced that market after the crash, the big Great Recession, I think they called it. And so it was an extreme buyer's market back then. And there were, I think, 35,000 listings in the MLS, whereas this morning I checked and there's 4,500.
Crazy.
And 2/3 of the houses back then.
You said 45,000, right?
35,000.
35,000. Okay.
I think it fluctuated between 35,000 and 40,000.
So almost 8 times the amount of properties.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think they say a normal balanced market's about 22,000 here in the greater Phoenix area.
Yep.
And so we're very undersupplied right now. But back then, we had a lot more houses, and 2/3 of them were vacant, distressed properties.
Yeah. Why Keller Williams?
I originally went with them when I was new in real estate. I've been with the same office the entire time, which I think is pretty rare.
That's a testament. That's pretty rare in this industry for sure.
So I went there because of their education.
Mm-hmm.
They offer some really great education.
Yep.
Also, just their culture.
Okay.
They're very into giving back. We have a day every year at Keller Williams where everybody in the company is encouraged to join, and we volunteer for a charity.
Red Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I've stuck around just because I love the people. I love the culture and the support that I get.
Tell us a little bit about like the education and training and stuff that they offer.
Oh my gosh. We have a room in our office dedicated to training. There's trainings going on literally every single day.
Yeah, like several trainings a day.
Yeah. So for new agents, there's a program that they can enter called Ignite, and it teaches them all the aspects of the business. And then there's coaching that they can do if they want, where a coach literally walks them through transactions.
Is that an internal, someone within the organization?
Yes.
Yep.
And that part's optional.
Okay.
But then there's a lot of continuing education for experienced agents.
Yeah.
And they really encourage helping you with your production. So.
And then there's like Bold. Have you done Bold?
I've done it twice.
Done it twice. Talk a little bit about Bold. I know Bold's kind of a bold class.
Bold is a class where they encourage production.
Yep.
It's an 8-week intensive class where each week is focused on a different aspect of the business, whether it's trying to work on expired listings and getting them back in the market, or open houses, or for sale by owners, working on, calling them to see how we could help them.
Gotcha.
So it's very uncomfortable.
Yep. Why'd you do it twice?
Well, I wanted to boost my production both times, but honestly, I'm on our agent leadership council, and it was encouraged for all of us to do it that year. But the agent leadership council is agents in the top 20% of production in the office, who it's kind of like an agent board of directors.
Got it. And then it just kind of reinforces and kind of makes you do everything again and get you out of your comfort zone again.
Yes.
And
And because you're supposed to meet, I think it's a minimum of 100 new contacts every week for those 8 weeks.
Yeah. I remember it's pretty intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was I going to ask you? And I know you also have your own personal coach.
I do.
Talk about that.
So this is somebody that I hire just to work with me.
Yep.
We talk on the phone for an hour a week, And I dread it because he kicks my butt. I have to turn in my pipeline to him every week and then talk about why I am or am not meeting my goals.
Yep.
And he just helps give me advice on, getting new business. If I have any issues with my current business, which isn't typical.
Yep.
But, just somebody who's there to prod me along.
Yep. Give us some examples of some of the things that he's holding you accountable to.
I had to put in my business plan for the year the 4 different areas I'm focusing on. And so one of those is cold calling absentee owners.
Okay.
And I have not been doing
that.
So he actually just texted me while I was in the parking lot outside, asking me if I've made my absentee calls today.
Yeah. And so you're basically just calling on people that own a home here but live in another state?
Yeah, so it's anybody who their mailing address doesn't match their primary residence.
Yep.
And we talked about earlier, we're really undersupplied in inventory here, and there's a lot of buyers that just can't get a home because there's not enough available.
Yep.
So I figured that those people might, if it's their second home or investment property, they might want to take advantage of the high prices and sell.
Yep.
So,
what are some other things he's got you doing? I know you're doing some video lately. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so he, with all of his clients, he has clients all across the country.
Okay.
And so we're doing a 21-day video challenge. So we are making at least one video a day, every day for 21 days.
And how's that going?
It has been challenging.
It is very challenging.
It is. And so, I've learned to record a couple in a day.
Yep.
Because it's virtually impossible to record one every single day.
It's a lot, yeah. And then everyone hates themselves on camera. Everyone hates how they sound. Everyone hates how they look.
I watched the first one, and I was like, I don't think I can post this. But I did, and I just don't listen to myself.
Jesus posted something yesterday. It was like a still of just me, talking about the podcast and stuff. And I thought my teeth weren't white enough. So I've literally been calling a teeth whitening person literally all day yesterday.
Wow.
Trying to get that coordinated. So literally everyone hates themselves on camera. Everyone hates how they sound. It just is what it is. And you just got to put yourself out there. So yes. I commend you for doing it.
Well, thank you.
I've seen everything. They've been awesome. Some are funny, some are a little cheesy, but all of them are great. You're putting yourself out there and you're providing quality content and relevant stuff.
Well, and the funny, cheesy ones are meant to, because, on social media, what do people want? They either want to be entertained or educated. So if I always put out real estate tips, I think people would think that's boring.
Yep.
So some of them I try to entertain people and get more of a following and build that community.
Yep.
So that when I put the tips out, there's people that are available to take advantage of it.
I think it's great because you add a little humor to it, but also there's a serious aspect to it, or at least some sort of analytical, data or qualitative data that you're providing that is actually relevant. And so they've been great.
Well, even on the funny reels on Instagram, if a person were to click on the caption, the caption always takes it back to an actual issue and then gives a tip in there. Yep. And then, the chance to contact me for more info. So,
ever since I've known you, you've sold properties in Fountain Hills, Phoenix, North Scottsdale, kind of all over the place. What's kind of your favorite community, favorite part of town?
Well, my office is in Scottsdale. I live in Scottsdale.
Yep.
So that's my favorite just because I know it so well.
Yep.
And, but I actually, there's no communities that I wouldn't sell in.
Yep.
And back when the market was bad, we mentioned when I first started in 2009, I kind of had to go where the business was back then when I was new. So I think I've sold in every single suburb except for Queen Creek.
Okay.
But I like to focus in North Phoenix, Scottsdale, Tempe, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler.
Yep. If you're going to pick one community, which community would it be?
Scottsdale.
Well, no, I know, like an actual neighborhood.
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think anyone's ever asked me that before. I live near the Kierland area, so I would probably pick that just because I know it so well.
Yep.
And I know all the restaurants around it and the...
Would you want to be in one of those condos or like in a house?
Single family house for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I have a dog.
Yep.
And
that's kind of my issues. We've got the dogs and our little kid now. It's a little pain in the ass to be in a condo going up and down the stairs every time we want to do something. But
you're still in a condo?
No, we're not. No, we're in a house. But I'm saying
Okay.
like it would be a pain in the ass. Otherwise, I would probably live in one of those condos. I love the lifestyle that those people get to live with all the amenities and the restaurants right below you and everything.
Right.
It just seems so easy and convenient. And I'm kind of a big guy on convenience.
Well, it's funny. I have a client. I just listed his property yesterday because he wants to move to a condo in the Scottsdale area.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Yeah, my favorite community is probably Ancala.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up in there, so I'm a little biased from it, and I've always kind of wanted to move back in there and raise my family in there. I liked having the little gated community. The elementary school was right out the back gate. The high school was right out the back gate. The middle school was right out the back gate. It was just super easy. There's a golf course there. You know, the HOA wasn't crazy expensive. I could ride my golf cart to the golf course. That's kind of my goal in life right now. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the traffic on Shea is not ideal, but
yep.
Ancala is beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And it's worth a lot now.
Yeah, it's kind of well, actually, there's just no inventory in there. As we talked about, there's just absolutely nothing for sale in there. So it's kind of crazy.
There's nothing for sale anywhere.
Yeah,
it seems like.
That's a very good point. Yeah. Talking about off market.
Right.
That'd be amazing. But yeah, and then it's also just crazy expensive in there now too. So
yeah,
you got to send me some more title work so I could go in there and call.
You heard him.
Where do you see the general market going?
You know, I wish I had a crystal ball.
Yep, of course.
But in listening to the experts, you know, in the Cromford report and the other experts that I hear about, until we can build our inventory back up to normal levels, it's virtually impossible for prices to stop increasing.
Yep, I agree.
I think that the feds have made some moves that indicate that because of all the inflation we've been having, that they're going to increase the Fed funds rate, which will in turn likely, you know, increase mortgage rates. I don't know if that's going to pause buyer demand,
right?
But probably not enough. So, I mean, we're predicting price increases for the next 16 to 20 months at least.
I would agree. Yeah, it seems like it's weird too, because like I used to think it's just Arizona, but then you talk to everyone else in other markets and they all have the same issue as well. Everyone's got the inventory problem.
Yes.
It seems like everyone's moving here, but also everyone seems to have the same issue as well. Even like I always talk about, everyone's moving from California. Like that's always the misnomer here is everyone's moving from California, but anytime you talk to somebody in California, they got the same issue over there as well. As their housing prices are through the roof, and they got more transactions going on than ever.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't really know what's gonna end this or what's gonna make a big shift. At first, I was like, okay, maybe the stock market's gonna keep taking a tank, and that'll impact because a lot of the times that kind of correlates with buyer demand, and
right.
It seems like that's kind of changed a little bit as well recently as well, and the stock market kind of picked back up last week and this week.
Well, yeah. And, I just don't know. I mean, I feel bad. First-time homebuyers are one of my favorite segments to serve just because they're so excited and it's just so rewarding.
Yeah, their first experience with buying a house is amazing.
And it's just a lot of them are getting priced out. I mean, even really nice starter houses, say in the North Phoenix area and PV Unified School District, that's an excellent school district.
Yep.
I mean, you're looking at $450 minimum just for a 3-2
right
1,500 square foot house.
Yeah, how many people do you see now that are like renting in Scottsdale or whatever, that have been in Scottsdale in that same house for several years, are used to that payment, and now they want to buy, and they're having to drive to the outskirts or go to different towns until they kind of can't afford it.
Right.
It's kind of crazy where things have gone.
It is crazy. But I do tell people, if you're renting right now and you have enough for a down payment, a lot of people get scared by the fact that prices are going up. They feel like it's going to crash. And I just don't see how that's possible for it to crash. So, you know, I've heard people say things like, I can't afford a mortgage payment. Well, you know what I told someone? I said, well, where do you live now? And they said, oh, I rent a house.
So you're paying someone's mortgage payment.
That's what I said. I said, you're just paying someone else's mortgage payment.
Right.
So, yeah, I think that if anybody is on the fence about getting into real estate for the first time, I think they need to do it sooner rather than later.
Completely agree. Yeah, I think you're just going to get priced out even more. And kind of the funny reel that goes around right now is yesterday's price is not today's price. It's true. I mean, I do a weekly report, and the significance of the price increase of last week was even crazy to see the average.
Yeah.
So it's kind of get on the boat or get off kind of thing. It's leaving the dock.
Well, it's a hedge against the inflation we've been having, because the inflation's been out of control, and we can't control, the fact that bacon's gone up by 3 times and gas has gone up, and my pool guy has to charge more because chlorine went up, and everything is going up, and you can't control it, and your rent is going to go up, but a mortgage is going to stay the same.
Well, and I always talk to about people whenever they talk about, we're playing the market. Is you don't really play the market in your primary residence. Like,
right.
One, you could always rent that out if you need to, and 30 years from now, you've got a paid-off property that you're cash flowing. So, the price itself isn't necessarily always the most important part. Is it what's best for your family, or is it a payment that you're comfortable with for your family, and does it actually achieve the goals that you're looking for? Unless if you're actually investing in a property, and then the ROI doesn't really necessarily matter at that time.
Right.
So kind of something I always tell people as well is it's not really your primary isn't an investment property. Like, you might make money off of it when you sell it, but that's just because you appreciate it off of equity. You're not actually collecting money from your significant other or whatever, unless if
right. But even if everybody has to live someplace, right? So even if you just broke even, which in today's market with prices going up, that's probably not even going to happen. But let's just say you just broke even. A portion of your payment each month goes back to pay yourself in equity.
Yep.
Whereas a portion of your rent wouldn't do that. It's just like flushing it down the toilet. Right. So
when there's no tax write-offs,
exactly.
You're providing a tax benefit for your landlord, which is very nice of you. But yeah, what are you doing for yourself?
Well, and you can't personalize the property when you're renting.
Yep.
You can't put in granite countertops or, take out the old jacuzzi tub and make it just a big giant shower. You can't do any of those things.
Right, make it your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's kind of goals for Becky for 2022?
Well, as far as real estate, my goal is $11 million in production. So that's a little scary for me because I'm a lot of my good years normally are around closer to 8 million. So I'm really trying to stretch myself, and I just want to help more people be able to meet their real estate goals.
Yep.
So I want to help as many families as I can this year.
Cool. What other kind of personal goals, I guess, do you have?
Let's see. I want to start getting more in shape.
Yeah, me too.
I want to start hiking again. I don't know. Other than that, I need to find a charity that I want to get involved in. Yep. That's been just a personal mission of mine. So I need to work that out with my coach.
Yep.
I'd like to start a program where once I get involved with that charity, I'm able to, for each real estate deal that I do, donate a portion to that charity as well.
Well, I don't know if you're aware, but we have the community outreach program internally here where 7.5% of your escrow rate could actually go back to the charity of your choosing.
Wow, I did not know that.
So we'll have to get that implemented here.
Yeah, yes. We'll have to talk after this.
Absolutely. Well, Becky, anything else that you want to let everyone know about?
Not really, other than, if you're hearing this and you're a person that has questions about real estate, just wants to know what their house is worth, doesn't know where to get started to get in the market, just give me a call or shoot me a message. I am always available to answer questions, and it's never a waste of my time. Even if it doesn't make sense to buy right now, it's still worth my time to educate people. Yep. That's just what I do. I love it.
Yeah, awesome. Like you guys heard, Becky is very knowledgeable in the industry. Use her as a resource. What's a good number to reach you?
602-295-9695.
Awesome.
That's my cell phone, and you could also text.
Cool. Becky, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Oh, it was my pleasure, Braydon. Thank you.
And thanks for tuning in for another episode of Break It Down with Braydon. And stay tuned, guys. More to come. Thanks.